Hello everyone, welcome to the daily newspaper analysis brought to you by the Shankar IAS Academy, and today's date is 11/08 and 2024. I know it is a Sunday, but for any UPSC aspirant it is just as any other days. So with the same energy of our weekdays, let's get into the articles discussion for today. Displayed here are the list of articles that we would be discussing today from various newspapers along with prelims practice questions. So without any much further delay, let's get into the articles discussion one by one for the day. Let us look at the first news for today. The first news is Philippines accuses Chinese Air Force of provocative actions. First, let us see what is this news about. The Philippine military accused China of dangerous and provocative actions after Chinese aircraft executed a risky maneuver and dropped flares near a Philippine patrol plane over Scarborough Shoal in the South China Sea. China defended its actions as legal and warned the Philippines to stop its provocations, escalating tensions between the two nations. Now let us see what is the South China Sea dispute is all about. The South China Sea dispute revolves around territorial claims and maritime rights in the region. The overlapping claims by the countries are China, Taiwan, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei and the Philippines. They assert sovereignty over various islands, reefs and the waters. Initially, China laid claim to the South China Sea in 1947. It demarcated its claims with a U-shaped line made up of 11 dashes on a map covering most of the area. The two dashes were removed in the early 1950s to bypass the Gulf of Tonkin as a gesture to communist comrades in North Vietnam. The remaining 9-dash line stretches hundreds of kilometers south and east of its southerly Hainan Island, covering almost 90% of the South China Sea. The United Nations Conventions on the Law of the Sea, that is the UNCLOS, which came into force in 1994, established a legal framework intended to balance the economic and security interest of coastal states. Spratly Islands, Paracel Islands and Scarborough Shoal are contested for artificial island disputes. Now let us see the international rulings on South China Sea. First is the China versus Philippines in 2016. The Permanent Court of Arbitration, that is PCA, ruled against China's 9-dash line, declaring it inconsistent with UNCLOS. In the South China Sea Arbitration 2018, the PCA reaffirmed the 2016 ruling, rejecting China's claim. The International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea rulings supported Philippines and the Vietnam's claims, emphasizing UNCLOS provisions. Now let us see few key findings from this dispute. The China claims exceed the UNCLOS limits. The artificial islands are not entitled to the exclusive economic zones or continental shelves. China's actions violate the Philippines' sovereign rights. China has rejected these rulings, maintaining its claims and escalating tensions. Now let us see the geographic and strategic significance of the South China Sea. It is a vital trade route, that is, 1/3 of the global shipping passes through it, making it crucial for the international trade. South China is known for its rich resources. Abundant in fisheries, oil and natural gas reserves, it is vital for energy security. And finally, the South China Sea is an important strategic military position where there is control offers a significant military advantage, allowing power projection across the region. Now let us look at the MCQ related to this topic. The Southeast Asia has captivated the attention of the global community over space and time as geostrategically significant region. Which among the following is the most convincing explanation for this global perspective? A. It was the hot theatre during the Second World War. Second, its location between the Asian powers of China and India. Third, it was the arena of superpower confrontation during the Cold War period. And last is its location between the Pacific and Indian Oceans and its prominent maritime character. The answer is option D, its location between the Pacific and Indian Oceans and its prominent maritime character. Moving on to the second news, the study conducted by the Center on Climate Change of Himachal Pradesh Council for Science, Technology and Environment reveals a nearly twofold increase in glacial lakes in the Sutlej River catchment area from 2019 to 2023 with a significant concentration in the Tibetan Himalayan region. First, let us see the causes of expansion of the glacial lake. First, under climate change, the global warming has led to accelerated glacier melting, especially in the high altitude regions of the Himalayas, resulting in the expansion of glacial lakes due to rising temperatures. Next is the decreased snowfall. The reduced snowfall during winter further diminishes the snowpack, leading to faster glacier retreat and the formation of new glacial lakes. And finally is the changes in the precipitation patterns, including increased rainfall, contributing to the expansion and formation of glacial lakes. This increased precipitation also manifested in the forms of landslides, which we have been having a track of the news lately. The second cause is the glacier retreat. As glaciers retreat, they leave behind debris known as moraines, that is the moraine dammed lakes, which can dam meltwater and form glacial lakes. Next is the calving effect. The breaking of the chunks of ice from glaciers into adjacent lakes increases the volume of water, further expanding the lakes. And finally is the topographical changes. The melting of glaciers can destabilize surrounding landscapes, leading to rock slides and land erosion, which can alter the topography and create conditions conducive to the lake formation, leading to land erosion and rock slides. Now let us see the impacts of expansion of glacial lakes. First is the glacial lake outburst floods. The bursting of these lakes can cause catastrophic floods threatening lives, infrastructure and agricultural lands downstream, leading to downstream flooding. Bridges, roads and hydroelectric plants located downstream are at a high risk of destruction due to sudden floods, leading to infrastructure damage. And finally, communities living downstream are at risk of sudden inundation, leading to loss of life and displacement. Now looking at the second impact, which is the environmental degradation. The alteration of water flow due to glacial lake outburst floods can lead to habitat loss and degradation of ecosystems in the affected regions, leading to ecosystem disruption. Floods can lead to increased sedimentation in rivers, affecting water quality and aquatic life. The third impact is the socio-economic impact. Floods can devastate farmlands, leading to loss of crops and livelihoods for local communities, leading to agricultural losses. The cost of rebuilding infrastructure and rehabilitating affected communities can be enormous, straining regional economies, leading to economic cost. And finally, frequent glacial lake outburst floods may force communities to relocate, leading to displacement and associated socio-economic challenges, leading to the humanitarian crisis. Now let us see a way forward for this problem. First is to have an enhanced monitoring and early warning system, such as the remote sensing and satellite monitoring. Utilizing advanced technologies to monitor glacial lakes and glaciers, providing real-time data on changes is a must. And having early warning systems. Developing and implementing early warning systems to alert downstream communities of potential glacial lake outburst floods will be helpful at the right time. Next is the risk assessment and mapping. Conducting comprehensive risk assessment and creating hazard maps to identify vulnerable areas and prioritizing mitigation efforts will help to ease the consequences. And having regular assessments, that is continuous assessment of glacial lakes and surroundings topography to identify potential threats. Next is to have an engineering solutions. Implementing controlled draining of glacial lakes to reduce water levels and mitigate the risk of outburst would be helpful. Next, to reinforce natural moraines with engineering solutions to prevent them from collapsing, that is strengthening of the moraines. We can't stop any nature to take its form. So thus, using the technologies, we can control the effect of the natural formations. Finally is the community awareness and preparedness. Educate the local communities about the risk of glacial lake outburst floods and train them in emergency response procedures. And develop plans for the safe relocation of communities in high risk areas, which is the relocation planning. Thus, this topic is very important not only in the terms of factual basis, that is the geographical features of the Himalayas, of the Tibetan region, of different types of lakes and floods and so on, but also it is important in terms of an article related to the climate change. So this news is also has the potential to be as a mains answer writing. So kindly look into the details of this news furthermore. Now let us move on to the MCQ related to this topic. With reference to glacial lake outburst flood, consider the following statements. First, it is a type of flood that occurs when a glacial lake experiences a sudden and rapid release of water. Second, building a barrier or dam across a glacial lake will entirely eliminate the risk of glacial lake outburst flood. Glacial lake outburst floods are limited to high altitude regions and do not pose a threat to lowland areas. How many of the above statements are correct? Option is A, only one. Statement 1 is only correct. GLOF is a type of flood that occurs when a glacial lake experiences a sudden and a rapid release of water. Statement 2 and 3 are incorrect. Building a barrier or dam across a glacial lake will not entirely eliminate the risk of glacial lake outburst floods. However, it can reduce the risk and it doesn't mitigate the impact if it does occur. The glacial lake outburst floods can occur in any region where glacial lakes are present, and the impact can be felt downstream, including the lowland areas. Now let us see the last news for the video, which is an interesting news, that is the use of AI in the judiciary system. Transition to AI will augment efficiency of legal system by the Chief Justice of India. First, let us see what the news is all about. Approximately 5 crore, that is 50 million cases, are pending in the Indian judicial system, highlighting the urgent need for reforms and adaptation of technology to fasten the resolution process. Technology is crucial for the Indian judiciary to reduce case backlogs, improve access to justice, enhance transparency, and streamline case management. It also enables virtual hearings, cost efficiency, better legal research, and handling digital evidences and supporting alternative dispute resolution, ultimately modernizing and improvising the legal system of India. Let us see the current technology projects used in the judiciary system of India. First is the Supreme Court portal for assistance in courts efficiency. This AI tool helps analysts and judges work faster for quickly finding and summarizing information from large amount of documents. It saves time and increases productivity by providing key details in seconds, making it easier to make decisions and manage workloads. Second is the Supreme Court Vidik Anuvad software, that is the SUVAS. This AI powered translation tool is designed for the judicial field. It can translate English legal documents, orders, and judgments into 9 local languages and also translate those languages back into English. This shows the inclusivity. Next is the electronic Supreme Court reports. These are digital versions of the official judgments and orders from the Supreme Court of India. They let lawyers, researchers, and the public search for cases, review past judgments, and stay updated on recent decisions. Next is the justice clocks. To make the information available to the public, 39 LED displayed message signboard system calls have been installed in 25 high courts. And finally is the tele law program. Through the tele law mobile app, an effective and reliable e-interface platform connecting the needy and disadvantaged sections seeking legal advice and consultation with panel lawyers via the video conferencing, telephone, and chat facilities at Gram Panchayat is being provided. This small technological change can bring a larger impact by connecting the grassroots levels also. Now let us see the eCourts project. The eCourts Mission Mode project is a national e-governance project for information and communication technology enablement of districts and subordinate courts of the country. eCourts project is being implemented in association with E-Committee, Supreme Court of India, and Department of Justice. This project involves computerization of district and subordinate courts with the objective of improving access to justice using technology and computerization of court complexes, and one video conference equipment each has been provided to all court complexes. This is such a very innovative project, but still there are a lot of people who are not aware of this project. Let us see the initiatives under the eCourt. First is the WAN project, that is Wide Area Network. This project provides 100 Mbps to 100 Mbps bandwidth speed connectivity at the court complexes. Next is the case information software. This software has been developed by NIC to get easy access to cases. Next is the National Judicial Data Grid, that is a database of orders, judgments and cases which provides information relating to judicial proceedings and decisions in computerized district and subordinate courts of the country. Next is the virtual courts, which have been created to handle traffic challan cases and petty offences. Applications have been created to provide real-time information on case status, case list, cause list, judgments, etc. For example, electronic case management tool mobile app for lawyers and Just IS app for judges. Now there is a system called new e-filing system which has been introduced by electronic filing of legal papers with upgraded features along with the feature of electronic payment of fees with including court fees, fines and penalties which are directly payable to the consolidated fund. So in this technological world we can't escape on paying the fines. And finally is the National Service and Tracking of Electronic Processes. It has been launched for technology enabled process serving and issuing of summons. And finally is the Judgment Search Portal. This portal has features such as search by bench case type, case number, year, petitioner, respondent name, judge name, act, section, decision, a lot of, even under lot of tablets or titles, you will be able to search the relevant information with the relevant titles that you would be giving. This facility is provided as a free of cost to all. Sufficiently knowing the initiatives done by the government when it comes to AI and knowing its use when it comes to any governmental procedures would be helpful to make our answers innovative when it comes to mains and prelims. So even if you're not having a full-fledged knowledge on what the AI tools is, just know the basics of each AI tool and its measure or its use in the government procedures would be helpful. Let us look at the last MCQ for the news. With reference to the eCourts project in India, consider the following statements. The eCourts project is an initiative of the Supreme Court of India under National eGovernance Plan, that is NEGP. The project includes the development of a national judicial data grid to provide real-time information on pending cases. The eCourts project is being implemented solely by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Which of the following statements given are correct? 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3 only or 2 only? The answer is 1 and 2 only. Statement 1 and 2 is correct. Statement 3 is incorrect. While the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology may be involved, the eCourts project is primarily driven by the Department of Justice under the Ministry of Law and Justice in collaboration with the judiciary. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to give a like, comment and a share. And to further not to miss any other contents, subscribe to our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.